Hey guys, and welcome to TJ Tech. In this video, we're going to be looking at the Razer Kishi, which is a gaming controller, and this specific one has been made for the iPhone. So let's first start with the unboxing of this guy, and let's just have a quick look around the packaging. So obviously this is Razer and their color is green, and you can really tell from all around that this is super green. And on the left you have what's written here is the ergonomic design, the low latency, clickable thumbsticks, and cloud gaming capability and stuff like that. So what you get inside is also mentioned here, and what you need is also mentioned at the back, and some more features and marketing speak over here. So let's not waste any more time and let's get into it. Slides right up. You can actually tell from the top part that there's a lot of padding to make sure that the device is proper and secure as it gets shipped across the world. First, of course, right here in the middle is the device itself. We'll get to that in a bit. So you have a little bit of literature over there. I'm sure we can get to that as well. On the side here, we have, I have no idea what this is. I guess these are the holders for the phone. We'll find out soon enough. At the bottom here, we have the literature and yay, some Razer stickers. Not only do you get the Razer logo, you also get a little sticker that says Razer on it. Alright, so let's quickly have a look at the device itself. I'm going to take this off. And over there it said to expand the device, see the reverse side. So pull both the release latches on the top, expand the controller. To collapse, see the important product information. Alright, so let's pull this guy off, pull these two. Ooh. And it expands. That was not what I was expecting, but okay, that's interesting. I'm gonna quickly put that in together again like Humpty Dumpty for a second. And let's have a look at this itself. The joysticks feel really nice. The buttons feel quite nice, a little more travel than I would have wanted. The D-pad actually feels really good. And yeah, super clicky. The one triggers L1 and R1 feel pretty good. L2, R2 feels more like a PlayStation style. And over here I believe you have some LED indicators. You have the word Razer over here on the right side and on the left side. The buttons are all labeled really well. The buttons are labeled Y, B, A, and X. There's a very Xbox layout for a controller. Of course, you have the little Razer logo over here at the back. Also over here, I noticed a little sticker as well. Take that out. And you have a lightning cable for charging. Alright, so I have over here an iPhone 10 and an iPhone 11 Pro. Obviously, these phones will not work with this device with a cover on, so I'm just going to use the iPhone 11 Pro, and I'm going to actually take the cover off. So here I have the phone ready, and before I begin, I actually went through the manual, as you should probably do, because it's a bit of information that's quite interesting over here. So first of all, let's go through the device again. This over here are LED indicators, and in my experience, it only really turned on the first LED on the top over here, and it turned red, and it was just to indicate that the device is attached, ready, and working fine. If that light is not red, the device would not work. Another point, let's open this thing up. You pull these tabs and you open this up, and you can see that it has the lightning adapter right in there. Also at the bottom here is a lightning charger pass-through, and the purpose of that is primarily to charge your phone and nothing else. So this device doesn't run on battery, there's nothing powering this. It directly just pulls the power off your phone itself, and it will, if you connect the lightning port over here, it'll charge your phone so that you can keep on going. Another thing to point out is that it actually has these little, you can see holes over here, and they actually help channel the audio coming out of your phone so that it actually comes right at you. And obviously the audio from the left side speaker actually comes right at you anyways, and the ones on the right go through this and they will come at you, and it sounds really good, surprisingly. So before I get into actually connecting the phone to the device, let me talk about these bumpers. So already pre-installed in here are a pair of bumpers, and I'm actually going to remove them. They are not necessarily the most easiest thing to remove. So now, having removed the bumpers, you can see that there is a B labeled bumper and A labeled bumper, and both of them are for two different sizes of phones. The B one is more for the slightly bigger phone, which is like the 11 Pro Max, and the A is more for the 11 Pro and that size, so the iPhone 10, the 10s, so it's for that size of phones. So what I would do is I would actually plug this thing in, and something you need to just take care of is that you put the right bumper on the right side. So this one with the hole goes on this side, the right side, with the label facing down, and this one without a hole goes on the left side. So I'm actually going to plug that in right now. At this point, obviously, we have the device ready for the 11 Pro, so I'm actually just going to plug this thing in, and for that I'm going to put this straight into the lightning port right over here, and you sort of bend this and flip it over and you're good to go. And there you have, the phone is connected and ready to be used. You can see that the light over here has gone on. It's now red, which means that the device is ready, it's connected, everything is working perfectly. At this point, you can actually see that the device is pretty well sized. You have the screen in the middle. With the lightning port connected over here at the bottom right, it actually doesn't come in your way because it's underneath, and I've used it with the lightning port connected and it works perfectly fine. I'm actually quite happy with it. When it comes to the actual fit of the device in your hands, it's a bit small, I would say. It would be somehow, I mean, I understand that it needs to be small for portability, which is great, but there are times when I found this to be a bit too small in my hands, and if it filled out all the way to my palm, it would be just a lot easier and more comfortable to use. The couple of games that I tried out with the Razer Kishi was the Asphalt 9 Legends, and of course Call of Duty, the mobile version, which is very similar to PUBG, and you're essentially an FPS shooter, which is really good. If you're doing a racing game, especially something like Asphalt 9, I mean, it doesn't really give you a full true experience, and you're only just really using this for steering and things like that. It's just a lot easier because you're not touching the screen and your thumbs don't get in the way of your screen. So that definitely adds a bit of bonus for this. But other than that, there's not really much of an advantage when it comes to a racing simulation like this. But one thing that is interesting is if I press these three buttons, you'll see that the menu actually pops up, and that's almost the only real use which I have found with this particular actually auxiliary button, so to say. So you can see I pull the trigger and I can speed up. You can see that I'm actually controlling the way the car goes, and that just helps me steer better. If I had to do this with the screen, it would just take up all the space, and that makes it a lot difficult for me to actually enjoy the driving experience. And I think that makes a big difference with the gameplay, because now I have the full screen available to me to explore, and that makes a much more fun experience overall, I feel. And I think it does make the game a little bit more challenging, in my opinion, considering that you get full control, and once you get used to it, it took me a little bit of time to get used to, but once I got used to it, I think it was really, really good. Now, when we're talking about a game like Call of Duty, where we're talking about FPS, and every little bit of precision helps, this was absolutely stunning. I mean, I played a few games. I played, I think, about 4 or 5 games, and every single one of them I was the MVP. Even though we didn't necessarily win, my kill death ratio was phenomenal. In some cases I didn't even die once. There's only one game where I died a few times. I think that was when the opponent was really good, or maybe they had a Razer Kishi for all I know. But honestly, this is where it really made a huge difference overall. I was able to run around, my screen real estate was all there for me. I was able to use the D-pad for doing special equipment. I can do reloads very easily, aiming with the triggers and shooting with the triggers, moving around with the joystick. Everything is absolutely phenomenal. I think for this, the Razer Kishi absolutely nailed it. It is perfect. The only difference, and you can see in my gameplay that I find it a little hard to hold on to, and honestly I could only really play 2 games at a time. After that it really got hard because the fit in the hand was it's just not perfect. It's good, it's great, and it gives you so many more benefits. But I think if there was a way to add rubber bumpers over here on the side that extend the grip when I'm having longer extended periods of gameplay, that would make this so much easier. It would fill out the hand so that you don't have to move around so much, because naturally my thumb goes way beyond. So if I have to hold it even closer, I won't get the same control. So especially down here to look, this joystick becomes really hard. But I think overall, it's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it's what you would want to take your mobile gaming experience to the next level. Now, one thing worth pointing out is that actually if you look at this The menus, you can't really do much with this. Like, the controls don't actually do anything for the menus. Every now and then you'll find something where you can actually accept a menu with A, or you can press the three dots to bring up the special menu. But for the most part, it doesn't. See here, you can see A, but for the most part, it doesn't really do anything. And I think that was a bit of a missed opportunity as far as I'm concerned, because maybe that's up to the game developers to integrate better with buttons. But I think overall, there was something missing there. At this point, let me just talk about the build quality of the Razer Kishi. So I really like the elasticity part over here. You can see that I'm pulling it. It has this nice feeling spring. I don't know how it's actually connected. You can't really tell. You can pull it out and you can see a piece, but some springs are there. It feels really good. I like the feel of the plastic. It is plastic at the end of the day, but it's really nice. I also kind of like that they have put these little pieces here, because once you connect it, actually a nice gap below the phone, so it allows for heat dissipation quite nicely. I quite like that. Some other points, let me just collapse this. So to collapse it, you actually have to sort of align these two up together like that, push them in, and then just push this down, and there it's now collapsed. So I like the layout for the most part. I think I'm a big fan of the Xbox controller, so I like the fact that there's two joysticks askew like this, on the right one being at the bottom, the left one being at the top. The triggers, on the other hand, feel very much like the PlayStation controller triggers, so that's a little different, but I do think that they're perfectly fine for this use. The tabs, the L1 and R1 buttons are very nice. The other action buttons are also actually, they feel a little nice. They're a little soft and mushy feeling, though the D-pad feels, I mean, that soft and mushy feeling goes well with the D-pad for some reason, and I quite like that. The only buttons I don't really like are these three buttons, which feel, I don't know how to describe it. It's just this very clicky, sort of fake-ish feeling. So it's a fake, but that's what it feels like, and that's the only thing. I really like the lightning cable connection because that just works exactly as it is. The only thing that confuses me is why are there 4 LEDs here when they don't really do anything. And even in the manual, if you look it up, or the guide or whatever, if you look it up, it just says that the light needs to turn red to show that it's connected, and literally I've never seen any other light. Even when it's connected for charging, there's nothing, there's no difference. So I guess that's all there is to it. The rest of it, I think the device is really well built, and if you plan on getting even semi-serious about gaming on your phone, I think this device is absolutely perfect for your needs. Here we are at the end of the video, and this has been my unboxing, first impressions, and review of the Razer Kishi, the universal gaming controller, the variant of which is built for the iPhone. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a good one.